Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is Farheen Chaudhry with Minerva from dbtv, and as usual today another very interesting guest is for you. She's a writer basically from India, but she's settled in Bangkok, and very interesting thing that she is doing a lot. She's teaching at Bangkok University. She's attached with a university in UK and so many schools, colleges and universities, and she's doing a lot for including creative writing lectures she's giving, delivering. And the more important thing about is this, that she is a coordinator of the Women Writers organization in Bangkok. So let's meet her. And hello, how are you,
Hello,
Bhavna?
namaste, and
Namaste, salam.
sawadika.
So, Bhavna, for my viewers, for Pakistani viewers and the international viewers, that would be very interesting if you tell us a bit about your career, why you came to Bangkok, why you left Calcutta, and how you're doing here. Do you find any difference as a writer here?
Actually, I have never been to Calcutta. So let's put it this way that I was born in Pune, and when I was about 4 months, my parents had moved to Taiwan. So I'm actually raised in Taiwan. Then, when I was about 8 or 9, my parents moved to Thailand. So basically, I have been raised in Thailand and in Taiwan. So I never lived so many years in India. So living in Bangkok has actually taught me so many things because it's new culture, language, and you connect with so many people. At the same time, high school and etc. But after coming back from England and starting like to have that passion for writing and creativity since I was a kid, I started like writing stories and poems. Then somehow, as you grow as an adult, you connect with various authors and people, and it just creates that spark of doing your own.
Yes. Agreed. So, when you got settled in Bangkok, during your school age or college age or university age?
School age, I was about
Okay,
eight and a half.
about eight.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So I've been living in
you
30
are
years.
teaching there in Bangkok
Yes.
University. So
Yeah. So
management,
I've
that
been,
is a management college, I think, है ना? You are
so
doing
actually
management.
there are two universities. One is
Hmm.
Bangkok University. One
Hmm.
is Bangkok School of Management. So
Okay.
they both are different. And yes, I'm doing management, business,
Hmm.
marketing, advertising, all those kind of
Wow.
subjects.
So many things all together. How do you manage all that?
Mindfulness. and, and I think all of that helps because you enjoy doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're not doing something that you don't like and you
Mm-hmm.
don't take not only a challenge but as it's passionate, you're learning, you're sharing, and there's a lot of growth in it. If you're not enjoying it, then it will be stressful.
Do you think that being in Bangkok society as a woman writer, you are doing better as compared to if you could be in India or somewhere else in South Asia?
I feel every country has their own opportunities,
Hmm.
but being in Bangkok, I've got a lot of opportunities as a woman writer. Now I'm co-leading the Bangkok Women Writers Group with my colleague. I call her soul sister Morgan, and we are handling that after the previous leader, Annette, has relocated. Next year, we are going to be celebrating 20 years, which means we are going to be writing more and sharing more stories, and there will be publication from our side and translation in Thai.
Great. Yeah.
But if it comes to how much we can progress, I feel that in Bangkok so far, we have been able to write so much. But when it comes to publication in English, it is much lesser because it's not a complete, there are not enough English speaking journals or materials. Mostly it's translated or written in Thai.
Okay.
However, if I was in India and writing for of Indian, I think the opportunities would be different because the storytelling would also be different. And because I can write in English, I don't have to
And
worry
then I
about it.
think every society has got its own issues. And most
Yes,
of the writers' emphasis on those issues. As the South
yes,
Asian countries have got different issues, Bangkok has different,
yes,
West has
yes.
different. So, can you speak Urdu as well or not?
I can speak Hindi a little bit.
Urdu, we call it Urdu, you call it Hindi. That's great. I'll
I,
question you in Hindi as well.
I can't really say Urdu because Urdu, I think, is very high compared to how I speak.
Okay. Okay, viewers, Bhavna is our guest from Bangkok today. Let's go for a break and stay tuned to DBTV. Welcome back, viewers. This is Minerva from DBTV, and today is Bhavna, our guest from Bangkok. Yes, Bhavna, are you there?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Now, there's another question. We have got, we had been in Singapore, for that Asia Pacific Writers Conference. Then there's SARC Conference for Literature and Culture. There's so many organizations of literature and writers and culture. Do you think these organizations are fulfilling the purpose, or these are just for stooge of certain powers? Because there's a controversy about such activities.
To an extent, they are fulfilling their motives and goals because if they were not, then they would not have been set up in the first place.
Hmm.
So, the initiative goals and the intentions of starting this to bring different writers from around the globe,
Hmm.
it is a very good initiative because if they didn't do it, then who would have? And because they have been running for so many years, which is very, very good.
Hmm.
However, there's always a small um, drawback that sometimes when the way they are creating or maybe the way they're inviting the authors or what kind of authors, which background they come from,
Hmm.
what are credentials, is not being monitored fairly or being chosen fairly. And maybe that sometimes it could also be because of grant. Like there are so many authors that they write beautifully,
Hmm.
but just because they are not granted for a trip, so they cannot travel to the to the event or the literary conference.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that because they don't have grant and they cannot travel, they are not
Hmm.
a credible writer.
Hmm.
But so sometimes you have flaws like that. And if the conferences can actually create the grants and invite them, I think that will create more opportunities to get to know that there are so many writers around, not
Hmm.
only based on who has won what kind of award.
Hmm. Plus, I think they'll get good reputation as well, because when every
Yes,
year there are certain names and there are certain people and a certain ideology is working there, so be a few doubts are created about certain conferences. Not all of them
yes,
I'm mentioning. So
yes,
I think the writers should be above any agenda. They should
yes.
be writing about humanity. They should be writing about human issues or about
Mhm.
love and peace and all that. So then these conferences can fulfill the purpose of their
Mhm.
creation. Very
And
nice.
also
Yeah.
many writers they multitask,
Mm,
so they are the master of so many things.
mm.
They can be writing about fiction, non-fiction, poetry. At the same time, they can also be teaching, doing counseling, and doing a
As
lot
you are
of
doing that, as you are doing a lot.
I could say
Yeah.
that I'll be one of them.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you have someone who is well resourced and still learning, wanting to learn more and sharing that knowledge and experience, it actually benefits the conference itself.
Yeah, sure, true, very true. Okay, Bhavna, there's another question which comes in my mind that young writers, because there was a time, say 20, 30 years back, writers, we had many writers, say 40 years back, before 70 years back, we get their books, their stories. But now, with the passage of time, the young generation is not prone to writing. They are more into so called practical things. Do you think there's a difference between West and South Asian countries? The rate of young generation indulging into writing and these artistic activities?
Yes, definitely.
Hmm.
I feel I've noticed that a lot of the South Asian kids, they don't like to read so much, or they don't
Hmm.
like to write so much.
Hmm.
They find writing very boring, and I think the only time they are writing is because they have to write according to academics.
Hmm.
And it also has a lot of influence by the families and the parents because they do not like to read or write,
Hmm.
and they kind of divert them. And of course, we cannot forget the so-called social media.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the social media intervention kind of stops from people to share. So writing, if you can say the young writers can be born if they are encouraged to reflect, to
Hmm.
share, to opinion. Sometimes opinion not ask them, okay, how do you think? How do you feel? But when it comes to the West, they're more opinionated. There's more freedom of speech compared to some South Asian countries. This means that you have a medium and you have a way
Hmm.
that you can actually share what you want to write and make a difference
Hmm.
somehow because it kind of
Okay. Don't you
flourishes.
think the social and economic issues bar the way of youngsters to write? Because most of the parents, they
Yeah.
want their sons and daughters to be doctor, to be teachers, to be IT specialists, to earn more. Isn't it the base? I think one of the factors stopping young generation to go towards artistic activities or writing.
Yes, parents have to be more conscious because they are trying to fix their children based
Hmm.
on their own ideology or
Hmm.
certain norms that have been going on maybe 50 years, 100 years, 200 years
Hmm.
ago.
Hmm.
And now it is important that parents have to be conscious to focus and see how the young generation is because actually the young generation, they don't have to be a doctor to be perfect
Hmm.
or an engineer to be
I mean,
perfect.
their
They already
aptitude should be followed.
exactly, especially emotional intelligence. It's not
Hmm.
all about IQ. What
Hmm.
about EQ?
Yes. Anyway, thank you, Bhavna. Thanks a lot. It was great pleasure to have you on Pakistani
Thank
screen
you.
and lovely to talk to you. And
Thank
soon,
you
I'm
so
sure
much.
next year we'll soon meet in a conference and discuss a lot of
Thank you
things.
so much.
Stay blessed, stay happy, and stay healthy
Thank
by
you.
that time.
Thank you.
Take
Sawadika.
care. Take care.
Lots of love. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you very much. Bye. Viewers, Bhavna was with us from Bangkok, a very brilliant and nice writer who is attached to reading, writing, and teaching and counseling. A lot of things she is doing. So, all best wishes for her. Stay tuned to DBTV. Goodbye.